Welcome back to G Fun Facts Online, the place where we dive deep into the weird and wonderful world of science. Today, we're tackling a global mystery that had scientists scratching their heads back in 2023. Imagine this. For days on end, the entire planet was subtly shaking. What was going on? It all started in September 2023. Seismometers, those super sensitive instruments that detect earthquakes, started picking up a really peculiar signal. It was a rhythmic tremor, pulsing about every 90 seconds. And get this, it lasted for a whopping 9 days straight. Then, a month later, it happened again. Scientists were baffled. The Earth has a constant background hum from ocean waves, but this was different, unusually strong and incredibly persistent. It was like the planet had a secret heartbeat. Fast forward almost a year, and a couple of scientific studies dropped a bombshell revelation. The culprit? Not one, but two colossal mega-tsunamis. But these weren't your everyday tsunamis, caused by underwater earthquakes. Oh no, these were born from something far more dramatic. Massive landslides in a super remote place called Dixon Fjord, way up in East Greenland. We're talking about an estimated 25 million cubic meters of rock and ice suddenly collapsing into the fjord. To put that in perspective, that's like 10,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools worth of material just giving way. And this collapse was largely thanks to the warming of an unnamed glacier, destabilizing the whole area. Now, when that much stuff crashes into a fjord, you can bet it makes a splash. A huge splash. These landslides generated mega-tsunamis with initial waves estimated to be as high as 650 feet, or 200 meters. That's skyscraper height. But here's the really freaky part. Because of the unique shape of Dixon Fjord, these incredibly powerful waves didn't just spread out into the ocean and disappear. They got trapped. They started sloshing back and forth within the fjord system, creating what scientists call seiches, essentially giant standing waves. Think of water sloshing in a bathtub, but on a planetary scale. And it was this rhythmic, massive sloshing, these trapped mega-tsunamis, that were literally shaking the Earth and generating those mysterious global seismic signals for days. Okay, so that's a wild theory, right? How do you even prove something like that, especially in such a remote location? Interestingly, a Danish military ship visited the fjord 3 days into the first event and didn't see any obvious giant wave. The planet was shaking, but the wave itself was subtle to the naked eye from a ship in the vast fjord. The breakthrough came from space, thanks to a new generation of satellite technology. Researchers, led by a team from Oxford University, used data from the SWOT satellite, that stands for Surface Water and Ocean Topography. This satellite, launched in late 2022, has an amazing instrument called CARIN, a K-band radar interferometer. Unlike older tech that just gave a 1D line, CARIN can map water height across a wide 30-mile swath with incredible accuracy. Using this, scientists created elevation maps of the fjord after the tsunamis. And guess what they saw? Clear cross-channel slopes in the water, sometimes up to 2 meters high, sloshing from one side to the other over time. That was the smoking gun. Direct evidence of the seiche, the trapped wave. They even linked these satellite observations to the tiny movements recorded by seismometers thousands of kilometers away and used machine learning to sift through all the data. Talk about high-tech detective work. This whole event is mind-blowing, but it also carries some serious messages. Firstly, it's a stark reminder of the far-reaching impacts of climate change. Melting glaciers fueled by global warming are making landscapes in polar regions less stable. This means more massive landslides and, potentially, more of these mega-tsunamis. As lead author Thomas Monahan from Oxford said, climate change is giving rise to new, unseen extremes, especially in remote areas. Secondly, this success story with the SWOT satellite marks a new era in how we watch our planet. Being able to detect and analyze these subtle but powerful ocean events from space is a game-changer for understanding things like tsunamis, storm surges, and even those legendary freak waves. And while this particular trapped mega-tsunami happened in an unpopulated fjord, though it did wreck some research gear, understanding how these events create global seismic signals could help scientists find evidence of similar events in the past, hidden in old seismic records. This could be crucial for predicting future landslide risks in vulnerable fjords and coastal areas worldwide. So the Earth's mysterious 90-second global tremor wasn't some deep, dark secret from within its core. It was a spectacular, climate-driven event on its surface, decoded by brilliant science and cutting-edge technology. It just goes to show how interconnected everything on our planet is, and how much we still have to learn. Our Earth continues to surprise us, and as our tools get smarter, so does our understanding. That's all for this episode of G Fun Facts Online. What an incredible story, right? Join us next time for more amazing science. Stay curious,